Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week, and we are very happy to introduce you to our show titled Speak of Africa. It's a new week, and we're telling you that we have a whole lot of news for you. You know, you ready for news? We have a whole lot of news to share. This week, just know that the agenda is the United Nations General Assembly, the 77th General Assembly taking place in New York, USA. That's where the whole world has been focusing attention. So the United Nations, in fact, we've done a few videos on the United Nations. It is an assembly. In fact, it's an organization that replaced the League of Nations. So after the Second World War, it was thought that the League of Nations was weak, so a new organization should be formed which can really tackle the world's problems. As one of my history teachers used to say, the League of Nations was weak and it failed because America was not a member. But today, you guys know that America is a member of the United Nations. America contributes over 20% of the budget of the United Nations. Yet, the United Nations is not really a great organization. It's a dysfunctional organization. The big boys enjoy a lot of power in it. Then the small boys, like the presidents from Africa, they have no power. They treat them like kids. And that's why we're going to present the show of today on the UN. And we'll make you see that the UN needs a total makeover. We've said this on many occasions on our show. Today, some of the members from Africa who are at the UN, they are concurring with us that the UN actually needs a total makeover. Take a look at the problem between Russia and Ukraine. It exposes the weaknesses of the United Nations as an organization. When a country can flagrantly break international law, when a country can invade her neighbor without any qualms, where is the United Nations? What has the United Nations done to solve the problem? The United Nations is very weak. It's like Russia says, I'll thumb my nose, I'll do whatever I want. What can you do to me? Nothing. I've invaded Ukraine. I've taken their cities. I've bombed them. I've killed their people. What are you going to do to me? Nothing. Even America, as powerful as she is, she cannot do much to Russia. And you guys understand, because Russia possesses nuclear weapons, and America doesn't want to infuriate Russia. Even though America is supporting Ukraine, and America has rallied NATO to support Ukraine, America really calibrates the help she gives to Ukraine. The aid is very progressive, slowly, incrementally. So this is why you can see that a country like Russia can run afoul of international law. So it becomes a situation where we say this is the law of the jungle. Only the strong survive. Social Darwinism. You remember Charles Darwin, the originator of the species. You have to be a strong breed to survive. We are thinking that we're living in a civilized world where might is not right, where the law is right. But Russia is reminding us that we have a system that is very, very fragile. The UN system is not really great. It needs to be redone. Russia has a seat at the UN Security Council. Why is it that Africa has never had a seat at the UN Security Council? That's the question most of you have been asking me. And the answer is simple. Africa doesn't have any clout. In order to have a seat at the UN Security Council, you need to have clout. You need to have political clout, you need to have economic clout, and you need to have social clout. And Africa has none of this. Africa has a lot of resources, natural resources. But most of the international powers, like the United States included, some people will say, I don't criticize America. I will let you know that I criticize America. America is a big country. They've done well for Americans, but they've not done well for Africa. In fact, America is an imperialist nation. We know that. I've never argued against that. Some of you think that I don't really agree with you on that score. I do. America is an imperialist nation. America caters to American interests, which is why, as you can see, America has been having a lot of trouble bringing most of the African countries to her side when this issue with Ukraine came to the fore. Because most of the African countries don't trust America. They feel like in the past, America has been focusing more on her interests rather than helping the African countries emerge. Most of the African countries, especially during the decolonization process, they wanted to be free and they wanted to develop their economies. But America never cared about helping them do any of this. So what it means is the countries have to do it for themselves, self-reliance, because that's what America did herself. People forget, America used to be a British colony. They fought a bloody war with Great Britain to be free. And after that, they decided to build their country. And they decided to become the biggest country in the world in terms of military might, in terms of the economy. The dollar now became the world currency. Then America now has bases all over the place. When somebody asks me, how come America is so powerful? I know the secret why America is so powerful. Yet, America dominates the UN because America pays over 20% of the budget of the United Nations organization, which is why you see the seat of the United Nations is in New York in the United States of America. It is not in Moscow, okay? But Moscow is just like a bad boy, what we call in French, enfant terrible. He can do things that are not legal. He breaks the law thinking that he'll get away with it. That's the kind of person the Russian Federation is, okay? So the UN now has really brought in focus a lot of the problems that the world is facing. The UN is not really a great organization, so it needs to be redone. Some of you ask, why does Africa not have a seat at the table? We're going to let you know. So we have so much news. But before we continue, we want to say thank you to all our subscribers. Our numbers are going up slowly. Thank you to all our viewers. If this is the first time you're viewing our show, we ask you to share it with your friends and family. We say thank you to afrizi.com. This is the new channel which replaces Facebook. Go to afrizi.com, create your account, and share information with your friends and family. Even if you don't want to create a new account, you can actually use your Facebook account, you can use your Gmail account, you can use all these other social media channels to log into afrizi.com. It's very, very easy. Do that. If you are a warrior, if you like to criticize the Western world, we're giving you a platform where you can speak your mind. Places like Facebook will restrict you. They will not want you to talk. But we're giving you a platform where you can express yourself at afrizi.com. Okay? Then we also have a website where we share a lot of news, theafricannation.com. Take advantage of these platforms, okay? So right now, we're really ready to start looking at the news. So we'll start right away with Ambazonia and La République du Cameroun. In Ambazonia, the biggest story which we see is the Pope. The Pope of the Roman Catholic Church came out and made a speech against the people who abducted some priests in St. Mary's Catholic Church in Nchang, Manfe, in the southwest region of Ambazonia. So the Pope came out, Pope Francis. You remember, last week we talked about the burning of the Catholic Church in Nchang village, and we told you that we saw some images of soldiers from La République leaving the burned church building. Then later on, the Pope came and, the Bishop came and spoke. But it looks like some people were taken hostage. This is what has been going on since 2017, when the conflict between the Ambazonians and the Cameroonians started. People have been dying, and we've been saying this on this show every week, to the point that Facebook has banned us because we're telling the truth.
Target. Wow. Mutu aja ke. Mutu awi ija ke. Mutu aja ke. Fuck you. Fuck them.
So for the first time, you can see the Pope has come out. The Pope is coming out now to speak against what has happened. against what he considers to be evil. But what he does not understand is the dynamics. For all these years, what has the Pope done? What has the Pope done to warn him to stop the atrocities, the killing of people in Ambazonia? What has the Pope done to stop this guy? The Pope has done nothing. The Pope has just been silent. So on this call, we have to really blame the Pope and the whole Catholic institution, okay? Because when you see evil, if Jesus were alive, what Jesus would do is Jesus would criticize the Paul Biya regime and say, what you're doing is wrong, what you're doing is evil. He will call a spade a spade. But people like Pope Francis and all his archbishops are not calling a spade a spade. They are not sympathizing with the people who are dying on the ground in Ambazonia. So it's time for the church to remember that they are the voice of truth. They are the voice of Christ. When there is evil, they need to condemn evil. But we don't see the church in La République du Cameroun condemning the atrocities of Biya's military guys. They don't. It's like they sleep with the enemy. The people who are killing the innocent, the poor, nobody criticizes Mr. Biya. They don't criticize. I'm sure they feel like if they do, Biya will kick them out of the country. So they don't. For the first time now, because some of the priests have been kidnapped and they're asking for ransom, the Pope has come now to speak. So we challenge the Pope to go out there and condemn what is happening, to tell Mr. Biya to stop the war. This will help a whole lot. So in Ambazonia, you can see that the people are fighting back. They were attacked. The people from the Biya government, they came to their own region and attacked them. They did not leave and go across the Congo to go and attack people in Mr. Biya's country. They were in their own territory. Then Mr. Biya sent forces to come and attack and kill them. And this is what has been going on since 2017. So to be fair, we are challenging the Catholic Church to do more to show that they have compassion for the poor, because that's a message that is in the Bible. So let's preach what is in the Bible. Show compassion. When there is evil, when somebody breaks the 10 Commandments, let's obey those 10 Commandments, because that's what the 10 Commandments say. Thou shalt not kill. But every day, the Biya regime is killing innocent people, and you guys are not saying anything. So for the first time, you guys are saying something today because a few priests have been kidnapped. Come on, this is hypocrisy. And the people know that this is hypocrisy, which is why a lot of people are running away from the Catholic Church and some of these other churches, because you guys are not really behaving like the apostles or the ambassadors of Christ. If Christ were here, he would say this is evil, he will condemn evil. So you guys are not following the example of Christ. Okay? In La République also, so you can just see that there's a picture which is circulating on social media. In fact, all of you guys, you've sent us more than 100 images. The military guys from Kutaba, the airborne division, they came to Ambazonia and killed a lot of women. Initially, the government of Paul Biya refused that they were not involved, that the soldiers were not involved. Then, when there was so much evidence that was put outside so that the whole world can see, the government of Paul Biya retracted its false statement and said, oh, okay, yes, the soldiers are our soldiers, but we're going to punish them. For so many years, since 2017, these soldiers have been killing innocent people. What have happened to them? Nothing. They just tap them on the wrist and say, please, you were just doing this to help us. We're fighting terrorists. Who is a terrorist? The person who is a terrorist is the person who comes to your house, breaks into your house, kills you and your family member. When you are in your house living peacefully, the person who comes to your house to kill you is the real terrorist. You are an innocent victim. You are not a terrorist when somebody comes to your house, breaks your windows, breaks your doors, shoots you, and kills you in cold blood, and calls you a terrorist. So it's like giving a dog a bad name. And this is why we say the government of La République is evil, and the way we see it, before long, it looks like the world powers are already getting ready for a two-state solution in this part of the world. So if La République doesn't make changes soon, we're predicting Ambazonia is going to go its way because the world powers are already getting ready for that solution, a two-state solution, where Ambazonia will be a state, La République will be a state. So that's a prediction we're making on this show today. La République needs to really take care of its own problems. And one of the problems we see is the management of lakes. You have a lot of gas-laden lakes in La République du Cameroun, but not much is really done to really manage the gas that comes out of these lakes and kills a lot of people. So these are the type of things that we expect a government to focus attention on. But they don't. They only want power for power's sake. And this is really sad. Then, of course, Ambazonia, we keep hearing about new presidents. We don't know why you have to be having a lot of new presidents when your people are dying. You need to focus on taking the fight to your enemy. We understand Ambazonia has a new leader. You guys are familiar with the face of Sissoko Ayoktabe. But since his arrest and stay in Konegi, not much has really been going well in the movement because it looks like there's a lot of infighting and a lot of corruption. And every time you only hear a new leader. So the IG keeps breaking and forming new IGs. The people have really lost interest in this liberation struggle. And that's the reality we see on the ground. Because the people are realizing that the people they are supposed to protect, they are instead killing these people, or they are taking them hostage and asking for ransom. Is this what freedom fighters do? So this is just like a bunch of criminals. You guys are not really fighting for freedom because you are instead making your people feel pain. So if you have a way to stop this, stop asking for ransom from your own people. When you do things, you alienate your people, you push them into the arms of the enemy. And that's the message we're giving to a lot of the restoration fighters on the ground. Stop making life difficult for your people. Limit the way you dislodge your people from their peaceful homes. Too many lockdowns, too many this and that. Please make some changes because you are driving these people into the arms of La République du Cameroun without you knowing it. You may be blaming them. People were thinking that this struggle is not going to last for many years, but it has gone on for so many years already. Since 2017, and it's still going on. So at one point, your people are really getting tired. So you have to understand this. So please, look for other means of financing your revolution. Don't use your people as a scapegoat, because when you do that, you are pushing them into the arms of La République du Cameroun.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Next, we're going to move now to the Central African Republic. As you can see, I saw a very big picture with Ojong Touadera in a big limousine guided by folks from the Wagner Group of Russia. The Wagner Group is a group of mercenaries that Russia sends to protect Ojong Touadera. But this day, we're going to tell you that Ojong Touadera has failed. He was trying to change the constitution so that he can create a third-term project, so that he can run for a third term. What happened? The Supreme Court in the Central African Republic challenged him and rejected those changes. So what is he going to do next? Well, you know dictators. He's going to try some other tricks how he can stay in power. Because that's what they do. They want to stay in power. But at least the court, the people have been protesting in the past against this third-term project by Ojong Touadera. But he insisted he wanted to change the constitution and run for a third term, even though the people were against it. He killed a lot of these people for expressing their views, making their voices heard. Now the Supreme Court of the Central African Republic has rejected the third term project. So it remains to be seen what this guy is going to do next. We know the Russians are protecting him, and he thinks he can do much. But what he has to understand is the Russian protection is not going to last. For one, the French are not happy with him, so the French are going to connive with other forces to dislodge him, which is what we can predict on this show of today. Next, we'll move to Chad. Chad also made its presence on the world stage at the United Nations Organization's 77th General Assembly. Their representative spoke eloquently about the need for a seat for Africa at the UN. But that will not happen if Africa does not learn to leverage its resources so that they can become a powerful entity. Africa has a lot of raw materials, but the world still looks at Africa as a place where they can take raw materials. They don't look at Africa like a big power player. Africa just has a big landmass, and they don't see what else is in Africa. So if Africans want to have a seat at the table at the UN Security Council, they need to build their economy, they need to build their politics, they need to build their society. And I have ideas. I know how America was built, and I can share these ideas with any African country that is serious and wants to build and be a big nation like America. Next, we'll move to Congo DRC. At the UN, Congo DRC made its presence felt. And I would draw your attention to a meeting between Emmanuel Macron with Paul Kagame and Felix Tshisekedi of Congo DRC. The conflict in the east of Congo DRC goes on. Macron, the president of a country that was responsible for the Rwandan genocide, is now telling two foolish Africans, Paul Kagame and Felix Tshisekedi, that I will help you solve your problem in the east. Is this not a funny situation? Rwanda decided to turn its back on France and charted a new course in the Anglo-Saxon world. Now Rwanda is moving ahead. Suddenly, France is back again, lobbying Rwanda to come and exert some influence on this part of the Great Lakes. That's the game Emmanuel Macron is trying to do. He wants to spread French influence. But the two foolish African leaders do not understand this. So that's why Africa is where it is. Next, we'll take you to Guinea. Mamadi Doumbouya, he has been in the news because he has really been the head of the junta in Guinea after he overthrew Alpha Condé. So we really feel that he's a handsome guy, nice soldier, well-dressed all the time. But you can see him, he's against ECOWAS, and he's been complaining about ECOWAS. So you can even see as Assimi Goïta of Mali is marking the 62nd anniversary of his country's independence. Mamadi Doumbouya visited him. That's his first trip outside of Guinea since he became president. But Mali has been in the news a whole lot, and even at the UN, Mali is still in the news. Mali has pushed the French soldiers out of the country. Then some of the Ivorians who came there, they were arrested. I think 3 of the female soldiers were released, but the other 46 are still in Mali. Mali is accusing them of espionage. But at the UN, you can see Mali in flying colors. You need to see the ambassador of Mali. I think this guy is really the prime minister of Mali, Abdoulaye Maïga, who here is the acting prime minister of Mali. He really made a show at the UN, and we have a video to show you. The guy spoke very well. He spoke about the evil of the French in his country and why Mali has decided to abandon France and chart a new course. When we look at the video of this guy's presentation at the UN, we were also happy when we saw the response of Africans within the vicinity of the UN building. They were clapping for him. He became a national hero of Africa. Take a look at the video of Abdoulaye Maïga, the Prime Minister of Mali. Take a look at the video for a minute.
Un ami du Mali et du Sahel. L'amitié reposant sur la sincérité, souffrez que je vous exprime mon profond désaccord suite à votre récente sortie médiatique, au cours de laquelle vous prenez position et vous exprimez sur l'affaire des 46 mercenaires ivoiriens, qui est une affaire bilatérale et judiciaire entre 2 pays frères. C'est évident que la qualification judiciaire des infractions liées à cette affaire ne relève pas des attributions du secrétaire général des Nations Unies. Au Mali, notre administration ne travaille pas sur la base de l'oralité ni de déclarations par voie de presse. Par conséquent, nous nous en tenons scrupuleusement à la note verbale de la MINUSMA à la mission des Nations Unies pour la stabilisation au Mali, référence MINUSMA /PROT/NV/226/2022 du 22 juillet 2022 dans laquelle il ressort clairement qu'il n'existe pas de lien
Gonna take me to this place so I can get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy's shape. When I say his services are the best in the states where he's born, he even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
Next, we take you to Nigeria. In Nigeria, the politics goes on. You can see the candidates, Peter Obi, Bola Tinubu, and Atiku Abubakar. Peter Obi has really been catching fire. His campaign has been catching fire, and you can see a lot of people going to the streets. The young people want him to be president, and you can see the movement, the obedient movement. People are really loving it. They are having fun. He's pulling a lot of people. So this is nice. So it tells me that the youth of Nigeria is waking up. They've realized that their future is in their hands. They don't have to allow these old people to be president. But what we don't understand is these same young people are going to be driven by stomachcare politics. Today also, one of you guys sent us a video of people going to Ikoyi, where Mr. Bola Tinubu lives, and he was giving away money to people. So many people were in the streets going to his house to collect free money. We're just giving away. And we want you to see the video. Take a minute, see the video.
This is Falomon Life and Direct. Ikoyi Falomon Bodilo. I'm at 25, Tinubu House. See what he's doing. Selling, our people are selling their future. To collect 1,000 naira. See them. See how they queue. Anybody that collects 1,000 will come out. 1,000 will come out. Tomorrow they will say Nigeria is not good. Can you see? See them selling Nigeria. Selling our future for 1,000 naira. Tinubu wife. Tinubu no go better for you. Peter Obi, you have to come out. Whether Tinubu like it or not. Peter Obi must win. See them. Useless people. Hungry people. For 1,000. See the ones we don't collect or 1,000. See the ones we sit there on queue or 1,000.
Thank you very much. So you see, with a video like this, it's telling you that even though Peter Obi may have bright ideas, he's not going to win because Bola Tinubu has more money than God. And that's why we're telling you that everything is so corrupt, and that's what is going to happen to this election. Bola Tinubu may have to buy this election. Then at the same time too, you have Atiku on the other side. Some of the information some of you have been sending to us, you are saying that even though Mr. Buhari came to the UN and made a promise that he's going to organize a free and fair election, his cabal seems to not want the election to be free and fair. The northern cabal, especially led by Maman Dora, a relative of Mr. Buhari's, wants that Atiku Abubakar should actually be the guy to win the election. So they've done everything possible. The government has paid the money they were owing Atiku. So Atiku now is flush with a lot of cash. Then at the same time too, It looks like they want Atiku to be the winner of the next presidential election in 2023. But we don't think Bola Tinubu will be happy with this news. But the Buhari cabal is still working behind the scenes to make sure that this happens. Okay, so that's what we can tell you about the politics in Nigeria. The next will take you to our final destination, which is Zambia. Zambia is really a story of African progress. When Hakainde Hichilema became president of Gambia, we made the story. We shared this news with you. How has he been doing since his election into the presidency? We think he's really been doing great, because at one point, you should remember that Zambia has been a country that has gone through a lot of tough times. They were so indebted to China, more than 6 billion debt they owed China. So the country was just not doing well. And it looks like China was just about to seize all the infrastructure in that country. Okay? The airports and everything you see signs in the country were in Chinese. But we think that Hakainde Hichilema has really made a turnaround for this country. He's really making a total makeover. And we like what we're seeing. Inflation is down. And he just struck a deal with the IMF, International Monetary Fund, where they got 1.something billion so that they can work on the economy. But the only problem we see in the country now is the defamation law of 1965. When Hakainde Hichilema was running for president, he promised he's going to revoke this law, but he's saying that he has to allow the court system to make the new law to cancel this defamation law, which is a libel law. If you abuse the president, they throw you in jail. A lot of people have been victims already. So it is time now for Hakainde Hichilema to prove that he's really a democratic president. Let him work with the lawmakers to repeal this defamation law. If he does this, he will emerge as a great president in Africa, because he has done a whole lot of things. And he's even against the SADC, the people who come to power because of blood. He came to power through the ballot box, and he's criticizing the African leaders who come to power by blood. They kill their people in order to come to power. So we think he represents a positive message for Africa, and we want to keep this message positive. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. But before we go, we want to tell you to support all our businesses. True Health, Ojong Care, Afrizi.com, theafricannation.com, Bytech 97. All these are our businesses, and we're also supporting a new Ghanaian business. This is the Ghana Community Clinic in Chicago, Illinois. We're going to be telling you more about them. Soon, you will have a lot of information about businesses from Africans at the back of this video. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.